Yeah, all good. All good. Good morning. Nice and peaceful walk this morning. Nice and fresh morning. Beautiful morning. Go for a walk. And I was just reflecting on a talk I helped to facilitate yesterday evening. We had highly respected Dr. Mia Powell giving a talk, and it was like an interview style talk. And I was interviewing Dr. Mia Powell on the subject of trauma bonds, and it was really fascinating. And it really got me thinking, and I suppose at times we spoke about different things and maybe went off piece a little bit, and we had a conversation afterwards that, generally speaking, and it got me thinking, and this isn't necessarily related to trauma bonds in any way, but it is related to relationships, whether they be friendship, personal relationships. And it's like when people in certain situations, they give just enough for someone else to hold on. It's a bit like breadcrumbs. So they're designed to keep the person interested, holding on. It's almost like an emotional tug of war that drains the energy of a person and clouds the clarity. And I suppose, look, I'm not here to give any advice or anything like that, or I'm just sort of sharing my thoughts around this area. And I suppose that, what we sort of touched on yesterday was sort of seeing various situations, what they are. And I think that concept applies to that breadcrumb situation as well, where, seeing the breadcrumbs for what they are and deciding at a certain point how often you're going to get yourself drawn into that pattern over and over again. I suppose there's a point where you say, that's enough. I'm not going to get myself pulled into that situation again. And I think my perspective and my thoughts are the real power comes from when you decide you've done chasing crumbs. That's it. Now you demand a full meal, metaphorically, or nothing at all. And I think the key thing, the decision to say enough is enough. And I think that's where the breaking free comes from. Owning yourself and deciding to draw an underline and say enough is enough. And I mean, what I spoke about there is a different concept to what the talk was about last night, but it kind of got me reflecting, because part of the conversation was sort of recognizing and deciding, what to do next. And, as always, I'm not here to give any advice or make any suggestions, each to their own, but I'm just reflecting my thoughts around seeing those breadcrumbs for what they are and deciding how many times you sort of get caught in that cycle where the person just gives enough of themselves to keep you interested as an option. And as long as you sort of are that option, you're not seeing things clearly and holding out for someone or something that doesn't exist. But that's sort of my thoughts. Interested to see what your thoughts are.